Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's weekly gospel. So I think this is going to be the last one, not the last weekly gospel. I phrased that horribly. But as I look back, kind of over the past kind of month-ish time frame, this is going to be the third video I have to do about some horrible thing that has happened in this world, and the reality is that this world is corrupt and sinful. And it's headed in a pretty bad direction right now. So I think making a video every time something like this happens is not a very realistic thing to do, considering we're doing the same message. So if I ever, have more personal revelations on this topic itself, then I would be glad, to come back in and talk about it, because it is one of the biggest questions that Christians get in general, and just one of the big, how is this possible, is that other people think shake the faith, the Christian faith, and then is, how could God let evil happen? So Hunter shared this verse with us on Wednesday. And by the way, I haven't stated it yet. We're talking about the Las Vegas shootings this week. 50 people dead. That is insane. That is just ridiculous. But we started off, talking about Hurricane Harvey, and then I think maybe Irma. That might have been the same video. And then I talked about 9/11, and here we are talking about the shooting in Las Vegas. And what a horrible thing that happened. But Hunter shared with us Genesis 50:20. Man, you didn't think you were ever going to get any Bible knowledge out of Genesis. Here we go. What you intended, and by the way, I'm doing this from memory, so it's probably wrong. What you intended for evil, God intended for good. And already many lives have been saved. Something like that. I'll try and put it on. Actually, I probably won't put it on the screen, but it's Genesis 50:20. I can assure you of that because I just read it. What you intended for evil, God intended for good. And no one on earth, heaven is very unclear. We don't talk about heaven much in the Bible. So I don't even know if we're going to find this out in heaven, but I can tell you for sure right now on earth, we are never going to find out exactly why this had to happen. I'm restating myself hardcore right now in stuff I've said previously, but we don't know why this is happening. We don't know why, but what you intended for evil, God intended for good. What this man thought, I'm going to be evil today and kill 50 people, God intends for good. And God has a huge plan that is so much bigger than what we can imagine through this. And maybe just a smaller story to share. And is this the reason for justifying 50 people dying? Absolutely not. But this is a small part of the big, insanely big picture that God is working through. That Hunter, our pastor, had the opportunity with a group of people that are mourning over the loss just of such a horrible event. Hunter had the opportunity to come in with this group of people, and they say, hey man, we know you're religious, we know you do your religion thing, could you lead us in a prayer? And he was able to do that. He was able to, this kind of opened the door for Hunter to share the gospel, the truth, with non-believers. Now, just, again, to clarify, is this a reason for 50 people to die? Absolutely not. But is this possibly one piece in some huge, in the huge scheme God is doing right now? Yes, it is. And this doesn't justify, thousands of these wouldn't justify, but this definitely is very likely a piece of what God is doing through through a horrible event. What you intended for evil, God intended for good. But Hunter got to come and share with this group of people something that they would probably never have been open to. Imagine so many people that walk away from the faith are pretty closed off to it. And, you know, to be in a place where where they're so hurt to just say, hey, do you want to pray over us? I don't really believe in that, but just do it. And you got to really share with them, take this as an opportunity to say, not just like, oh yeah, we know God's going to come through, but, to say like, man, there are people here tonight who really want to feel you, God, who really want to know that you're real and want to feel your presence in this time of hurt. So we pray that you would show up. So, yeah, that's my message tonight. Hopefully, well, I know that doesn't do justice, actually. But this is going to be the last kind of video on this type of thing for maybe ever. I don't know. We'll see. But, this is like the third video I've made about a question that really has kind of one single overlying theological answer. And other than that, it's a really tough question. So, I hope you all enjoyed this week's Weekly Gospel. If you did enjoy this week's Weekly Gospel, please do leave a like. If you did not like it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to share your opinion in the comment section down below, including any personal revelation you might have had yourself this week. And I will see you next week, next Sunday, if I remember to upload it on the Weekly Gospel. Bye, bye, bye.